Let's look at the freaking video.
Hey everyone, SafeLocked here on behalf of the League team.
Yo.
We have a lot to cover today, including our plans for preseason, challenges, and game modes.
All right.
But first, let's talk about the state of the game.
Let's talk about it.
Overall, we're pretty happy with the state of League this season. But
Okay.
before we get into the details, let's dive into a topic that's been pretty popular lately, which is new champion balance.
It's always
When we
popular.
look at the data, we actually see that new champions have been pretty balanced on release this year.
Stop the cap.
What? 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 For the exception of Dr. Mundo, Action was dog water on release. Hold on. What champions came out this year? Viego came out this year? Get out of my face. Get out of my face. We're 29 seconds in, and it's already on my nerves. All right. You think Viego released balanced? That's cap. You nerfed him. You knew he was broken. Off release this year? That's cap. That's all right. We move though.
That said, there's more to healthy gameplay than just win rates. And we're still hearing that new champions feel unfair to play against, particularly
facts.
when it comes to complex abilities or overloaded kits. If we're being completely honest, we don't think our champions have overloaded kits overall.
What the fuck? What the hell is this? Some kind of a shit for brains joke?
Hold on. I need subtitles. Hold on. Let me go back. Where's subtitles at?
If we're being completely honest, we don't think our champions have overloaded kits.
We don't think our champions have overloaded kits overall. Viego, Yone, Yasuo, Action's freaking abilities, or his two main abilities, yet still being completely useless. He's broken. You could take those two abilities away, his Q and his ult, and he'd still be broken. Are you joking right now? They're joking, right? This is cap. We capping. Haha. Funny. Overloaded kits. Is this what you're saying to me? Is this what you're saying to me, Jessica? We don't think our champions have overloaded kits overall. Man, we hitting the bong hard today, baby. We hitting the bong hard over here at Riot Games. Aphelios? Oh my God. We're hitting the bong hard over here at Riot Games. 43 seconds into the 11-minute video. We move though.
Kits overall. But that being said, there have been times when we've given new champions too many tools and had to pull back later to give them more clear weaknesses.
You know shit.
For example, Samira's ability to dash to allies was removed because it provided too much safety. Combined with her missile blocker, it made these
But you had to gut her
especially
into
since that's
the
one of her
dirt.
main forms of counterplay. Another thing we consider when we hear a
You had to
champion feels
gut her
bad to
in
play
order for her to be
against is their
somewhat
intended complexity.
playable against.
We try to make a healthy mix of high, medium, and low complexity champions. In this way, whether you like mechanical skill expression, point-and-click simplicity, or something in between, there's a new champion that interests you. For example, with
First off, I want to point out that they completely approve of this. This should never happen, by the way. Unless they just got completely outplayed.
or something in between, there's a
They're
new
cool
champion
with all of that
interests you.
whiffing because he's not
For
in the
example,
circle.
with Vex, we wanted to create a champion that was fairly easy to pick up, and we're happy to see she's hitting that mark.
Yeah.
But beyond just how complex a champion is to play,
Instead of fixing the problem with two mobile champions like Yasuo, Aurelia, Yone, you chose to make a champion that counters those champions. Your solution to a lot of damage is more damage. We wonder why the dislike bar is as it is. Okay.
Play, there's also how difficult they are to understand.
Okay.
We want new champions to have unique gameplay, but you shouldn't need a wiki to know how to play with or against them.
Yes, you should.
Learning counterplay is a skill test we do think is important.
Yes.
But knowing what a champ can or can't do shouldn't be a part of it.
What? What are you saying to me? What? Let me look at that again. Let me look at this again. Let me look at this again. What's she say?
This clearly I think is important. But knowing what a champ can,
Hold on.
learning counterplay
Learning counterplay is a skill test we do think is important, right? Counterplay is a part of the game. Learning how to play against certain people and countering what they mess up on and things that they don't know is essential to learning how to play against a champion, right?
play is a skill test we do think is important.
Right.
But knowing what a champ can or can't do shouldn't be a part of it.
What are you saying to me? Did you just say counterplay is important, and we do think it is important, but knowing what a champ can or can't do shouldn't be a part of that? Are you kidding me? Are you saying you shouldn't know that Nami can put a freaking auto attack buff on somebody shouldn't be a part of counterplay? Knowing that that's on somebody shouldn't be a counterplay? Knowing that those auto attacks slow should not be a part of counterplay? Knowing what that champ can't do and can do should... What? So you're telling me I shouldn't have to know that... I shouldn't need to know that staying outside of Aatrox's like little Q range, his little specific spots in his Q that do extra damage and pop up, right? Or not even, I don't even think it does extra damage. I think it just pops up. You think I shouldn't have to know that to beat him? That is the most stupid thing. Oh my God. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. What do you mean? Counterplay is essential to anything PvP. Anything. You have to, in fighting games, you need to know what this combo is or a certain string to know when it's your turn. You need to know to counteract that person's attack. In League, you need to know when I can go in and when I can't. That is an essential part of League. What are you saying? Oh my God. No wonder y'all got 50K dislikes. Y'all hitting that bong hard over there, drinking bong water. Holy. God, dog. Okay. We move though. What a stupid...
This clarity is something we haven't always hit the mark on, especially with champions like Aphelios, who not only has a complex kit, but was also lacking UI clarity when he was...
I want to point out, he does not have a complex kit. Each, like two of his things are activatables with his auto, so just hit Q. Right? Like, it's not complex. I don't know why they sat here and thought that Aphelios on release was a complex champion. No, once you just know that you should hit Q on certain weapons, like Severum is the speed boost, but it also heals Gravitum is the one that's autos attack slow, and if you hit Q, it stuns or snares. Like, he is not a complex champion. The only issue with him is the fact that he just did too much damage with his ultimate ability and his survivability, since you made it to where he doesn't level up his abilities. He only has 2 abilities, a Q and a W, one to switch and one to activate the weapon. Like, and an R, which, by the way, the R buttons for like 3 of those weapons suck. The Severum ult sucks. They nerfed the Infernum ult because it was hitting like a freaking brand ability with his passive, just straight murking folk. So they nerfed that they nerfed this champion to the freaking streets. They nerfed him to the streets. And that was their solution for, yep, we fixed him. Oh my God.
Is released. Designing new champions is a constant balance between making something that's exciting, has clear counterplay, and isn't confusing. We're still trying to find that line, but we want to get to a spot where new champions aren't just numerically balanced, but that you all feel they're fair to play against.
That's not going to happen.
Beyond new champion releases, this season we've seen a wide variety of picks in every role. We've also seen a healthy improvement in diversity of playstyles across roles, especially in jungle and top lane.
Yeah. Thanks for that. I know I'm gonna pause this a lot if it's gonna keep this up. Hey, thanks for that. So glad I got freaking 80 carries top lane. So glad. I'm so glad you just wanted to randomly buff Talon in the jungle. Such a stupid decision. Like, these freaking patch notes looking at it like they now do more damage to jungle monsters. What the fuck for? Nobody wants to fucking see these characters in the jungle. What for? What do you want to see them in the jungle for? Who is really out here like, you know what? There's a large following of people that really want to see Zed in the jungle. Like, no, dog. You're catering to like the 2% freaking Redditors that just want to watch the world burn. Like, you play Zed jungle as a troll. You play Talon jungle as a troll, and it might work out 1 or 2 games, but don't take them out of their solo lane. That's what they're obviously there for. God, it's such stupid. Buffing Morgana jungle and against monsters, buffing Garen jungle for against monsters. What? Stupid. If you want to fix the jungle, make an actual jungler that is interesting to play. I think the last interesting jungler that is actually cool to watch and unique is Lee Sin. That's the last interesting jungler that I've ever seen. Like, that's the last. Lee Sin is untouched, and it's in his uniqueness. Make interesting junglers. Like, Ivern was cool, but like, nobody on here wants to play a support in the jungle. They play jungle to get away from support. Like, oh, I guess or at least they did. Now you can just play mages in the bot lane like it's fucking mid. You and your friends high-fiving each other over freaking who can kill the freaking 80 carry faster. Playing Ziggs and Vigar bot. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Right. The fuck is a Draven supposed to do about that? Like, oh my God.
Some of this is due to direct champion changes, such as the kit adjustments that enable picks like Jungle Darius, Brand, and Morgana. New items like Anathema's Change and Hullbreaker have also had a positive impact, especially in top lane where we're seeing a ton of champion diversity.
Anymore. It's dog shit.
And finally, we know that some champion classes have been struggling after the item system update, and we've been working on some solutions to help them.
Assassins are way too OP.
And this brings us to our plans for preseason. With that, I'm going to hand things off to Brightmoon. We'll go more in depth on the upcoming changes.
Just so stupid.
Hey everyone, I'm Brightman, the lead producer of gameplay on League of Legends.
Don't smile at me.
League is like a house. Sometimes we need to do a big renovation to keep it working well, like when we overhauled the item system. And sometimes we just need to add some new furniture.
First off, when they overhauled the new item system, that was one of the worst things. That was the worst preseason I have ever experienced. Last preseason was the worst thing I could have ever experienced. That was awful. It can't possibly get any worse. It can't get any worse than that. But freaking, Riot's going for the gold this year.
Sure. For this year's preseason, we're sprucing things up with improvements to our existing systems, like items, runes, and the Elemental Rift. Let's start with our plans for items. While some champions and classes have lots of build options, we've still got others that don't feel like they've got a mythic or...
Everybody honestly has a mythic. It may not be the best thing for every situation, but everybody in the game has a mythic. Singed has a mythic. It's just not the best thing for every situation, but everybody has a mythic. And all AD is building is Gore Drinker now, so who freaking cares, bro? Who freaking cares? Revert the items, dog. Revert these items.
That really speaks to them. So we're going to be adding some new items and tweaking some others. This will include 2 new mythic items. The first one is a support tank item, perfect for champions that want to get aggressive and charge into the middle of a fight.
Like Locket wasn't doing
enemy
enough.
Champion, all nearby enemies will take increased damage from your team for a short period of time. The second new mythic item is built for mages who are looking for a little more survivability. It grants damage reduction that lingers for a few seconds after you get hit, and while the protection holds, you'll also get ability haste.
You know what the problem with that item?
Particularly good for longer range mages. We need a mythic that helps them survive and die.
The problem with that item is
pile on extra damage.
Those champions aren't going to build it. That's going to go on folk like Mordecai.
We wanted to give every champion strategic choices in every game.
Like,
we still think that's the right goal for mythics, but our thinking has changed when it comes to legendary items. We think it's okay if some champions build the same legendary in most games if it's a perfect fit. But we also want you to have plenty of options, which is why we're improving legendaries for mages, assassins, and tanks. For example, assassins can look forward to a new legendary item that gives ability haste.
Oh my god.
And also refunds a portion of their ultimate's cooldown with enemy takedowns. Tanks.
You listen. You listen to me, Riot. All right? I want you to listen to me. You better stop with that nonsense. Assassins don't need anything else. Let assassins be assassins. That's the problem now. There's too much dang damage in the game. No one can get anything done. Stop. Stop. I swear. Hey, stop. Stop. Assassins don't need anything else. You already can't freaking see them because Invis is so strong. Stop. God, dude. We need all this shielding and damage reduction because there's too much damage in the game. No one can press any buttons. So stop adding more damage to solve the problem of more damage.
That can never get enough mana will be happy with a new legendary item that grants bonus health based on total mana.
Yay,
and also burn some of it to create a shield whenever they
tanks.
immobilize an enemy. And finally, mages who are tired of being denied their hard-earned kills can rejoice. They'll be receiving a new legendary that grants magic pen against recently shielded enemies.
Oh, Jesus.
As for runes, we think there are some good targeted changes we need to make. Most of all, we feel the Inspiration Tree's identity has been pretty unclear. We'd like to broaden its keystone use cases.
Why are you so happy?
For example, we're reworking Glacial Augment to double down on its fantasy of slowing down enemies.
Yeah,
we're also making some modifications to Lethal Tempo to lean into its attack speed fantasy, give it a more distinct use case in the Precision Tree. Up next are bounties. Champion bounties give teams who are behind a way to get back into the game without being a straight shot to victory. And this year, we're adding a second way for teams to try and make a comeback. Objective bounties will work like champion bounties.
Great. Another reason to punish people who are actually doing well.
They ramp up slowly when the enemy team lead grows, and the bounty is shared with your whole team, regardless of who claimed it. Taking objectives really is the best way to come back when you're behind, so we want to help make that a clearer and more rewarding strategy. That said, if a team is really far ahead, objective bounties won't change that. Being the better team should always get you a win. So we'll be watching the new bounty system
don't work out
closely
like that,
to keep
do
things in check.
It hardly
Finally,
ever works
let's
out
talk
like
about
that.
our biggest addition this preseason, dragons.
Stop smiling.
We really like how each dragon creates unique terrain, grants powerful buffs, and adds more strategy to the mid and
I
late
can't
game.
even count. That was a good
this
change.
preseason, we're adding 2 more. Up first is the Hextech Dragon. When
I
your
thought
team
I was gonna
defeats
hate it.
You'll all
It
gain
was a
additional
good
ability
change.
haste and attack speed. And if you claim the soul, you'll receive a chain slow that works kind of like Static Shiv's
That
passive.
thing hit farther than Static
When this dragon
Shiv.
takes over the rift, it creates Hextech gates that can transport you to set locations
Oh my
across
god.
the map.
See, here's the issue, right? It starts to invalidate the other dragons. It's just like these freaking gates teleport entire teams cross map. Like, great. Cloud Dragon gives a slight speed boost in areas. Like, what? What? Like, how do you like? What do you want? Like, we can teleport with these little gates around the map. Earth Dragon added a little bit more walls to the to the map. How do you try to make those other dragons as good as those 2 dragons? Like, they just that's a dragon gap, low key drag gap. So honestly, the dragons are fine. It's just, I don't know.
The second dragon joining the party is Hextech's darker sibling, the Chemtech Drake. When you slay it, your team will deal increased damage when your HP is low, letting you turn around those close team fights.
Yeah.
This dragon soul provides a second chance at life.
Close team fights, yeah.
Well, sort of. When you die, you'll enter a zombie state, where you can still cast abilities and continue fighting when you'd normally be looking at a gray screen. And when the Chemtech Dragon putrefies the map, it creates camouflage zones in fixed locations.
Camouflage? Yeah.
These dragons might seem more impactful than the current ones, and, well, they are. Our goal is to add more unique encounters.
What? Hold on. What do you can't just shrug and they are. Like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Well, they are. Like, what do you... He just laughed it off. Hey, Jeremy. Whatever your name is, Blacktown. Hey, bruh. Don't you laugh. It ain't funny. It ain't funny. You may not be playing the game, but we are. You motherfucker.
Full strategy to the mid and late game. That said, these are some pretty big changes, and we're ready to adjust if they're making too much, too little of an impact.
Yeah, just get rid of
You can expect
actually.
to see all of these changes on PvE in a couple of weeks, and we'll be looking for your feedback in the months ahead. Outside of preseason, something we've heard from all of you is that you'd like more ways to express yourself and your achievements in
Not
League.
really.
For some of you,
that.
ranked is how you define your progress. And that's
Fact.
great. We don't want to change that.
That's how you
But
should.
for those of you who aren't focused on the rate climb, there aren't great ways to express your own progress.
Get fucked.
Champion Mastery and
That's how it
Eternals
should be.
help you show off your skills on a particular champ.
You don't play
But they
ranked,
don't
you
tell
don't
the
get
story
the
of your broader
swagger.
legacy.
You feel me? That's just how
The
it
new
is.
challenges system should achieve just that. Challenges rank up over time, showcasing your increasing mastery and legacy
Who
across
cares?
a bunch of different systems, modes, and
the heck?
gameplay, making it a little different than just a standard achievement. We want to highlight not just your rank and champion
That
mastery,
looks
but also your
fucking mobile
inventiveness,
game as
breadth of
hell.
play styles,
Ugh.
collection, and everything else in between.
Stop catering to these
Want to showcase your knack
casuals.
for never dying in ARAM? Or how great you are at killing minions in SR in the first 10 minutes?
Stop.
Maybe.
You want to know what made League so great way back in the gap? You know what made League so cool to pick up? It's because everybody saw how skill expressive the game was. Everybody saw how good people can click their fucking mouse. Everybody saw it. Everybody saw the pinnacle of how great you can be at the game and how you can outplay people, on top of already really cool abilities and really cool champions. Right? It rewarded people who took the time to learn specific champions, be the best with those champions, and climb with those champions and outplay people with those champions. That's why folk wanted to play the game. If you try to cater to casuals on purpose, those casuals aren't going to play the game anymore. The game's just going to be boring. Stop trying to simplify the game for the people who already, to try to get people who are already not feeling the game as much as hardcore players are. Casuals will be there naturally. If your game is skill expressive and fun, the casuals will come, despite how many. I think that's the thing. They wanted to cater to casual players with all this. Maybe counterplay shouldn't be for everybody. Like, you should need to know what a champion does to counterplay him. Like, to initiate counterplay. Like, what? That's what they wanted to do. They want to cater to casual people with this freaking, I don't even know. What the heck was this? Look at that. That looks ugly. That looks clustered. It looks like I'm playing Powder Puff the MOBA. That looks stupid. Like, what the what? What is his name? Barack Pro Obama? Get the Fed Express. Big dip. Oh my God. Get that off my screen. Casuals will come and play the game if the game is fun. And how do you make the game fun? Reward and dedicate rewarding people who actually take the time to learn and master the game. Show the fact that if you put the time in to actually read the wiki or look up what a champion does and actually practice your champion, you get to succeed. You get the flex on other people. That's just how online works. That's why people play PvP, to flex on other people. That's how it's always been. If you try to cater to them on purpose, it's not going to work. You're gonna end up pissing off the people who actually dedicate and play your game for long periods of time, and they're honestly just gonna get pissed off because they spent hours upon hours trying learning a champion and learning counterplay. Now you've dumbed it down to a freaking 1+1 scenario, and they don't want to play anymore because everybody can do what they do with way less time and dedication. So it's just like, there's no point. So stop trying to cater to casual players, man.
Or how great you are at killing minions in SR in the first 10 minutes.
Who
Maybe you've
truly
collected over
gives a
100
fuck?
champions, or love participating in events. All of this is now possible to track
That
and
looks
display your progress
stupid.
with challenges. You'll get the first glimpse of challenges when they hit PvE
And
next
then
month,
your
and the full system will
stupid
launch
smile.
early next year. That's all I have to share with you today. Thanks so much for watching. And here's Safe Locked again to talk about game modes.
Man.
When it comes to game modes, one thing we've been hearing from you all is that you'd like more variety in the modes we bring back alongside events. So let's talk about it. To start, we actually agree that the existing rotation of game modes can make some of the most popular modes like Earth and One for All feel a bit stale.
Hold on. This is prime example. They're both level 15.
Modes can
right?
Make some of the most popular modes like
I want you to
Earth
look
and
at this.
We actually agree
He's
that
moving. Auto.
Rotation of
Auto.
game
Q.
modes can make
Auto again.
some of the most popular
Dodges the initial Q out.
modes
still
like Earth
does.
and One for All feel a bit stale.
Still does.
Some of you have asked why we just don't bring back some of our other older game modes like Star Guardian Invasion or Ascension to mix things up.
Gale Force and everything.
And the answer is that bringing
Still
back
lost.
old modes isn't as easy as flipping a switch.
Well, you shouldn't have gotten
League
rid
is
of them.
constantly changing, which means all of our existing modes require constant
Bring back
upkeep.
1v1s.
For example, when we released Yumi, we had to figure out how she'd function in One for All. What happens when a Yumi attaches to a Yumi who is
This is
attached
where all
to a
the
Yumi?
time's gone.
Because of upkeep like this, we have to be very selective about the modes we maintain. And right now, there are just too few popular modes that feel worth the investment compared to making brand new modes or updating more resonant ones for you. We've mentioned this before, but we think the sweet spot for game modes are ones that amplify champion fantasies and really build on what you love about your champs and Summoner's Rift. So moving forward, we're focusing on adding more game modes that hit this goal. And to that, let's talk about Ultimate Spellbook. First and foremost, you all seem to really love this one.
What was that?
It was one of our highest engagement modes ever, second only to Earth. And beyond popularity, we're super happy with how long you spent making oversized champions with Cho'Gath's ult. And by that we mean the total amount of time you spent in Ultimate Spellbook stayed high throughout the event. That gives us confidence that it's worth keeping around. That said, there are some clear areas of feedback that we want to address. Junglers were forced to take Smite and another ultimate, which meant they couldn't choose another summoner spell. They also missed out on a lot of exciting plays during the laning phase because they were stuck clearing camps. Beyond that, we also heard that games started to feel a little repetitive due to the small number of available ultimates. And we agree. So, this winter we'll be bringing back Ultimate Spellbook with a bigger ult pool. We'll also be making some adjustments for junglers to ensure that your experience in Ultimate Spellbook is just as fun as everyone else's. If you'd like to learn more about our approach to game modes, you can check out the dev blog that's coming out today. That's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you're enjoying Worlds as much as we are, and for any pros watching, once again, please pick a Mumu.
What? Hold on.
Once again, please for watching. We hope you're enjoying Worlds as much as we are, and for any pros watching, once again, please pick a Mumu.
Oh my god. No wonder your dislike bar is throbbing. Look at that look at that bad boy. Look at that bad boy. Look at that bad boy. What a joke. Get out my dang face.